Would you like to be my sunshine? Hello everyone, Ryan here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new Lil Yachty album titled Teenage Emotions. Lil Yachty is a southern rapper and a trap rapper and also an auto-tune connoisseur, and he has recently broke into the mainstream with his kind of weird little edgy kind of sound that is kind of hot right now, this sort of mumbly rap that's going on, but he has a bit more of a personality and a bit more of charisma than the rest of those, and he has seen a lot of success. A lot of people have even made the claim that Lil Yachty is this kind of new wave of punk in rap music. Not that this is a very punky sounding rap album, but in the sense that he has this attitude and the way he kind of doesn't really believe in influences, and he kind of is just on his own lane. Like, he doesn't have those 90s classic influences in his music. He constantly in interviews will say that, you know, some of the classics like Biggie Smalls is overrated, and he kind of isn't really interested in that classic style of music. So people are kind of seeing him as this kind of punky, edgy rapper, which is kind of hard to believe because, you know, he did those Sprite commercials, and honestly, if anyone considers themselves punk, then they wouldn't go into a mainstream commercial, would they? Regardless of whether you think he's punk or not, though, he is very divisive, and he has a lot of haters, but there are people out there that support him as well. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle because I thought his first project, Lil Boat, was pretty decent. There were a lot of great songs on that project, and there were a lot of kind of uninteresting, bland moments as well. I liked how it was soft and kind of catchy, but in a weird way. Like, he was singing, but it wasn't really good singing, but it still stuck in your head. I don't know how he was able to do that, but I still thought that was a decent project. However, I think he's followed up with a much weaker album this time. This album features a lot more of the harder, snapping trap beats, but ultimately it doesn't really lead to that many great moments. It just kind of sounds a little bit flat and a bit, you know, like he's trying a bit too hard to jump on that trend, which is weird because it was like Little Boat was in his own lane, but now I feel like he's jumping on other people's flows and ideas in a sense. Some of these tracks even remind me of 21 Savage, which is never a good thing to me, and, you know, he doesn't make those same melodic singing styles like he did on Lil Boat. It's not as enjoyable to the ears for me, this album. Now, one of the worst songs I've heard all year is gotta be Peekaboo, which features Migos, which I thought would be a good collaboration, but it comes down to this really terrible song that references pussy in the worst way I think I've ever heard, in the line, "Play with that pussy like peekaboo." That's the actual line. I mean, that's creepy as hell and weird, and obviously it's not said in the way I said it, but it's still just is cringy as fuck. There's more disgusting mentions of pussy on the track Dirty Mouth, which I'm not trying to say that it's like disgusting when I hear that word, but it's the way Lil Yachty tries to reference it. It just sounds awful, and it's like, you could make it sound much nicer than this. And I understand, like, obviously it's very appealing to straight men, and of course, you know, I can't deny that either, but it's just, why would you say it like that? There is no woman out there that would want to hear this. Like, it's just not appealing. Say My Name is this repetitive track, and it's really generic as well. I'm not really bothered about when people say my name on songs. It's like they've been done over so many times, it's just boring at this point. And there are so many unflattering moments of like crooning that he does across this album. Like, it's not singing, it's just like this yelpy crooning sound that I don't think has any appeal to it whatsoever. It did on the first project, but this time around it sounds really bad. The track Better is a very good song though. I think it's one of the best here. It follows a similar trend to what's going on in the mainstream right now with the dancehall stuff, but I think this does it a lot better than what those tracks do, and I think the chorus on this one is really good, and I think it should be his next single. Forever Young is completely different to what Lil Yachty has done before because Diplo was on this song, so it's got the usual Diplo-esque bang and beat, and it actually sounds really good. I think it's a lot better than what I'd expect from Lil Yachty. Although Harley does go a bit over the top with what he's trying to do, I do think it's a pretty catchy song. And Made of Glass is an interesting song too, because Yachty gets surprisingly quite emotional on this track as he's singing about a girl that he loves, but sadly she is in love with someone else. It's quite a new take from a Lil Yachty song. I wasn't expecting this, but it's quite emotional and I do think it goes over well. But then there's a track, Lady in Yellow, and this song is literally the exact same as Black Beatles by Ray Shrimmer. Everything down from the beat to Yachty's vocal melody to the atmospheric sound, everything sounds like that song, and I'm really disappointed that I'm pretty sure that he's ripped off that song completely here. So yeah, basically this is far weaker than Lil Boat. It's an hour and 10 minutes long and it really doesn't need to be that long at all. I don't know why, other than the fact that he's trying to rack up streaming from, online streaming services to get the sales. But other than that, this is way too long. There isn't enough quality across the whole album here. It's much weaker than his last album. I'd say this is worth skipping. I'm going to give this a D-, and let me know what you think about this album in the comments. Do you think this guy is way overrated, or do you think this is way better than I said it was? Let me know. Make sure you subscribe and have a good day.